Today, I want to share with you guys what I think are the 3 strongest armies in the game. And as we dive into these 3 replays, I'm going to break them down into how versatile they are, like how many bases you could just use this against and have them be versatile enough to 3-star any base. 2, how strong they are, and 3, how easy they are to use. Now, at rank number 3, I'm going to put the Mass Furnace attack. And with all of these strategies, there's several different variations, so I'll try and touch on all of them while I'm explaining the attack. But the idea behind this attack is to fireball an area of the base, and once the funnel is set, you will have your heroes, which are your king and queen, go on one side, your warden on the other side, and you will support your warden with a bunch of furnaces that you're just going to kind of place behind him as he's moving around the base. You'll use a siege barracks to get your king and your queen to go into the base, as you can see here, to get them to go inside. And then I've got the recalled royal champion that I will use with the extra earthquake that I've got left over, and sometimes the rage, in order to handle the areas that are going to be harder for anybody to reach. This attack is insanely strong. It's fairly new. It's also pretty easy to use. I would say it's about a 7 out of 10 in terms of how easy it is to use. The higher the number, the easier it is. It's gotta be like a 9 out of 10 in terms of how strong it is. And then how versatile it is too, probably about a 9 out of 10. There aren't very many bases that I've come across that really counter this hardcore. There are some that are spread out and maybe make the fireball less valuable, but there's different variations of this army too, right? You can use the life gem instead of the fireball with the rage gem, and that army works really well too. You can go 320 very easily with really any version of this army. But yeah, that's the idea behind this attack. You can see that you can crush just about any base, even if they're high level and supercharged and really good bases. I finished just outside of the top 1,000 last season using this the last week or so, and I was able to climb pretty quickly using this army specifically. But with this army out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into army number 2. At number 2, I'm actually going to be placing the Root Rider army. And you can use this with the Minion Prince or the King. Both versions are insanely strong. It seems like in hard mode, people are using it with the King, with the Spiky Ball and the Snake Bracelet to walk around the outside and make sure that the funnel's really set and to have him kind of clear up everything. This army, man, in terms of versatility, it's got to be like a 9 out of 10. In terms of strength, probably like a 10 out of 10, putting it as like maybe the strongest army in the game. But in terms of how easy it is to use, it's probably like a 7 or a 7.5 or something like that, which is why I'm putting it at number 2 and not number 1. I do think it's slightly stronger than the Mass Dragon attacks, but I also think because it's a little bit more difficult to use, it's got to be deducted a couple of points there. And I will be putting probably the Mass Dragon, well, definitely the Mass Dragon attack at number 1, just because it's so easy to use. Obviously, with this one, all you really need to do with the Royal Champion, and I thought I had the Hog Puppet on this one, so I was really slow about using the ability, but I had the haste file, so I should have used it earlier. You just break the funnel with your Royal Champion, send your Root Rider smash one direction, using your Queen to keep them inside of the base, and then you can use your Overgrowth to kind of make sure that the pathing is good. I used the Overgrowth probably in not a very good spot in order to get them to go to the Town Hall first, because I didn't want them to ring around the Town Hall for the whole rest of the raid. And I am always hesitant to overgrowth the Town Hall, because then it seems like I deal with it at the very end and I risk 1-starring. But this one, even though it was somewhat close, this is the first time I attacked the base, and this base did really, really well for me last season. This is the base that I used to get to the end, or to about the top 1,000 at the very end of the season, and it defended. I averaged 268 the last 4 days, so it was pretty insane. So this army, insanely strong. It's just never going to go away because Supercell loves the Root Riders, but that's going to be attack number 2. Let's dive into attack number 1. All right, last and certainly not least, and the one that I'm putting in first place is going to be the Electro Dragon Superminer army that Grok gave me. Just kidding. Obviously, the Dragon army is probably the army that has the most amount of variations in the game right now. There's like this version where there's just massive invisibility spells. There's the one where you use the revive spell with the Royal Champion. There's the one where you use the Yeti Blimp in order to get the Town Hall. There's like the quad clone spell version. There's a whole bunch of different versions of this. And so I'm kind of lumping them all together. I think in terms of strength, I'm going to have to give man, you almost have to rank them separately because the versatility of the quad clone one is quite a bit lower than this one. Like in Legend League, the quad clone version falls off a lot once you get above like 5,800 trophies. Once I got above 5,800 trophies last season, I only got it like once every like 3 days. But this version, Dragons, it felt like I got attacked 5 or 6 times a day with a version kind of like this. So 11 or 12 invisibility spells, kind of spamming everything. I really like this version here where I've got the spiky ball. Do I not have a pet on my king? Oh, I literally don't. Well, I didn't notice that till now. I'll fix that with the link. I'll put the angry jelly on the prince and then put the phoenix on the king. I think that's how people mostly do it. Or you could put the owl on the minion prince if you don't want him to target defenses, but I didn't even realize that I didn't have a pet on the king. This version, I mean, it's insanely versatile. It's going to be like a 9 out of 10 in terms of versatility. It's got to be like a 9.5 out of 10 in terms of strength. Ease of use is probably like a 9 out of 10 too. It's just, I mean, it's so easy. If you can do a Spirit Walk well, you can really do this. You can see the funnel that my Spirit Fox left over, or my Spirit Walk, was really not even that great. My king got stuck on the ice golems forever, and the dragons weren't really all together, and I didn't get them all on my warden ability, and we're still going to end up with 3 heroes alive and a few dragons at the end of this attack just because of how strong it is. If you're good at the Spirit Walk and you feel confident doing the double cycle version, or you can use the Phoenix on the Royal Champion if you don't feel comfortable doing that, this is insanely strong. This is the type of Spirit Walk that the pros are doing, especially in hard mode with the overlapping invisibility spells, because you can get a little bit more potential with your Royal Champion and the Spirit Charge doing it this way. But these are the top 3 armies. You could make an argument for interchanging them in any way almost. Even the Furnace army, the only reason I put it at 3 was because it is a little bit newer and there aren't as many people using it. But man, it's insanely strong. You can go 320 like super easily with that army. And there's a bunch of variations of that as well. And it is very versatile. Really, all 3 of these armies are just really, really good. They all rely on the hero equipment a lot, which is what makes them so good. But that's going to do it for this video. All of these armies are going to be really, really strong. A good thing to use in Legend League, a good thing to use for CWL and War as well. And all 3 of these armies, well, the Root Riders and Dragons are tried and tested in hard mode, right? Those are the top 2 armies. But the Furnace army, I feel like I've had okay success with it. I haven't really tried it a whole lot in hard mode, but I have a couple of clanmates that have been pretty successful with it in hard mode. So maybe we'll see that one eventually in a pro match, but I'm not holding my breath. Root Riders and Dragons are just something that everybody's so comfortable with right now that it seems like nobody really wants to change. But there have been a couple of YouTubers that are super creators that have hinted at a new epic Minion Prince equipment in their thumbnails and stuff. So if we get that next month, maybe this will change a little bit. We'll have to see how these hold up with the new equipment and stuff. So that will do it for this video, but I will see you guys next time.